I started this week super gung-ho for bigger poses and long classes, and real life happened. I had a lot of migraines. I was tired from the migraines, and it completely changed the way that I'm looking at my older classes and my evolution into the newer classes. My name is Melissa, and I have a channel on YouTube called Yoga with Melissa where I've been offering yoga classes every week for the last 17 years. And in the lead up to our 17-year anniversary in September, I have decided to do a 30-day challenge where I do one of my old yoga classes every day for 30 days. And this is my 2-week recap. First of all, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you who have been practicing alongside me. I can see you're doing the classes I've chosen. I also love hearing your comments about those classes and also just your reflections on my reflections. So thank you all of you who are following along. So the big thing that stood out from week 2 was that I really lost steam. I had a lot of energy of new beginnings went from week 1. And then in week 2, I had migraines, I had fatigue, and the reality of doing a yoga class every day for 30 days really set in, and it was hard to keep that beginner's enthusiasm. The thing is, I'm doing my classes from 17 years ago, and I had a very different style back then. Right now, I'm still in the earlier classes. Back then, I was doing 1 hour long Hatha yoga. So very physical, very long attention span, a lot of physicality and bigger postures, building to peak poses, which is so fun, but you need to have peak energy to do that too. Sort of like my fantasy self practices yoga that way every day. I realized in looking for videos this past week that it was only 7 years ago, so I was 10 years into offering yoga on YouTube, that I started to do shorter classes. There's some breath work practices. There's the introduction of Yoga Nidra, which were 30 minutes, not an hour. So it was actually really hard to find shorter classes in the earlier days, and I skipped ahead quite a bit just to find classes that were more suitable for me. I found this week that I really appreciated, like I know many of you do, the number of restorative yoga classes that I have to go to. And the big surprise from this week was, well, I don't know if it was a surprise, but I just appreciated the pranayama classes so much. They allow me to stay in my practice even when I'm feeling awful. So no matter what, I seem to be able to do a short breath practice. And I think it's really great to have that tool in our toolbox to know that when we're not feeling our best, there are options out there. And for me, pranayama is really a great choice. The other thing that stands out is that there are some components from those earlier classes that I really love, and I don't necessarily have them in all my newer classes. So the poetry, which I know a lot of you love the poetry, the pranayama, I think I used to just say, okay, there's going to be a breath practice of some sort in this class. And mudras, I did a lot of mudras. They seem to be following me around, or I did a lot of mudras. And I love these components, and I can really feel the effects of the mudras. And again, they're another practice that works well when you don't have a lot of energy. So I am going to be reintroducing them into my current day classes. The thing that I'm not missing that I dropped more recently are the chantings. They're beautiful, they are spiritual, they help to regulate your nervous system, but I just find I feel uncomfortable chanting out loud when I'm teaching, when I'm in the house with other people, if I was going to do it outside. There's just a discomfort with it for me. I think because in human design, the chakras are in human design, and my throat in human design is an undefined center, which means I'm more comfortable listening than I am chanting. And so I've come to accept that, and I don't miss that part of my classes anymore. I'm finding the way that I practice yoga, and also just the general kind of attitude that I bring it to it, has changed a lot. So let me explain what I mean by that. When we're doing the Hatha yoga poses, they're long holds. We tend to be hanging out at the end range of our muscles. And to me, it feels like hanging on the hinges. It's very uncomfortable. I found that it was building tension in my neck and my shoulders and my joints. And that was not cool. So what I found that I like more now is movement, not such long static holds in the end range of motion. So whether it be Qigong or somatics, also love myofascial release. All of these things allow my body to continue moving, which allows me to find comfort in the poses and to continually move into a place that feels good. So I feel like I'm better at finding edge. At the beginning, I was really going for these big shapes, and I found that this week was a week where I let go of that and I went rogue a lot of times. I would take the kind of suggestion of where I was headed in the class and the poses I was suggesting, and I would modify them so that I wasn't hanging out of the end range of my muscles, and so that there was movement which felt juicy and good in my body. I've always said that the reason that I practice yoga is to connect with my true self. And I found that I'm searching out classes that work with that theme a lot, and they really nourished me spiritually. And so I think I want to bring this more to the forefront again. I know that nervous system and vagus nerve and all of that has been really hot over the last several years. And for me, the true self practices, connecting with my true self, setting that intention to be with my true self through the classes, nourishes me just so much more than trying to tinker and fix my nervous system all the time. One more thing to say about the earlier classes is that it was all Hatha all the time and long classes, as I mentioned. However, I'm finding that my body craves more variation now. So I mentioned this last week too. I do a lot of other things besides yoga now that I didn't necessarily do in the quantity that I do now or do at all. So one is weightlifting, the other is we go for these monster long walks every day now outside. And all of these contribute to my mindful movement. And so there's more movement variety. Also, I've added myofascial release. I do that heavily in the membership community. Also, somatics heavily in the membership community. And I'm finding my body is really missing those things in this 30-day challenge. I find that I'm feeling more tight, more bracing, like more protective responses to trying to like be big in poses. And the somatics and the myofascial release really help to break up those blockages, those tense points, and I'm definitely missing them. I did do a Qigong style class this week, and it is one of my favorite classes overall in Yoga with Melissa, and I would highly encourage you to check that class out. It's such a great one from the Poetry in Motion series, and it's such a gorgeous location. It's such a beautiful poem. The creativity that I brought there in combining Qigong and yoga was unparalleled since then. And it still is kind of a pinnacle class for me. So I highly recommend that class. So overall, because I was navigating a lot of pain this week because of migraines and fatigue, because of migraine hangovers, I found that I was really seeking out the more spiritual components of my class. So whereas in week one, I really went in getting very excited about the physicality of the older classes and the peak poses and bigger poses, this week I honed in on the spirituality through poetry, through mudras, through pranayam, and it really fed my soul and what was a challenging week. So let me know how the challenge is going for you so far. You're 2 weeks in, you're halfway. What has been the biggest challenge for you for these classes, and what have you loved most about them going down memory lane? And again, thank you so much. It's so great to have you all here with me, practicing and leaving your comments. I just love it so much.